Educating white identified folks about racism often comes at a cost for Black, Indigenous people of color. Whether it be moments of disbelief or genuine confusion, these reactions can land as a continued dismissal of one's lived experience. It may not be the intention, but it generates harmful impacts all the same. We clearly are living in a moment where there is plenty of talk of racism and what it means to be anti-racist. It is what has inspired this campaign, and it is also part of what has created a growing curiosity about what it takes to address racism in the places we live, work, and play. Along the way, it has also stimulated some tension. If racism is an experience unique to Black, Indigenous people of color, doesn't it make sense that people of color should be accessible to and willing to educate white identified people about racism and oppression? What we hold is that examining racism and its impacts, including how it shapes your view of the world, is a space for learning and deepening your own understanding. Approaching people of color to educate you isn't enough. In our work with people who are curious to committed to anti-racism, we've learned that if you really want to expand your understanding of white supremacist culture and racism, you need some willingness to be vulnerable, a willingness to approach things with the beginner's mind, and a space to process the intensity of feelings that can come up as we start to dismantle our limited views of the world. It requires humility and intention. None of these things can be given to you or transferred to you just by asking questions of Black, Indigenous people of color. You can get there through your own careful examination. So here's a tip. When you are willing to move beyond curiosity to commitment to understanding how whiteness and white supremacist culture has shaped your own understanding of the world, or when you are ready to take in the impact of racism in the lives of Black, Indigenous people of color, we invite you to start in a place of reflection. Anti-racism work is not about understanding Black, Indigenous people of color. Its first job is to understand whiteness, why it was created, in what ways it has shaped you, and how white identified people can free themselves of it. Learn more by visiting our website.